Hello you lovely people, welcome to my channel, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who comes along and spends some time with me as I pootle about crafting. I've been busy making tags for a swap and I thought, oh, why don't you make one for your phonology journal? So it's Tracy Fox Creative Birth Month Florals. This is March because this is going to be in my phonology journal and will be in March. It is 24, I think it is, different birth flowers. Some months have 1, some months have 2, some months have 3. For each month there is a large tag, a tag with a flower, and another smaller, slightly smaller tag as well. There is March Daffodil, and then there's the month and the flower, and then there's the month and the flower separately, like this, as if it's been done on a dino. So I've already cut these out. It isn't as easy as that, you've got to cut them out. This one I've cut round, which will become more obvious when I've done that later. But I need to cut out some more bits of this, which I will do shortly. I've only printed out the bits I need at the moment of this kit, but I think I'm going to end up using this kit throughout. I'm going to pick a flower every month. There's these small tags. You can see this is January. I think this was January as well. Then there's 2 for February. There's only 1 for March. Then there's 2 for April. Then May. I think that was May as well. I think there's maybe 3 for May. I think you've got the Lily of Valley, the Lily and the Hawthorn for May, and then June. So, and then the rest of the month, the rest of the year is on another page. But that's the one I want for here. Then there is a page that gives you the properties, if that's what you want to call them, of the flowers. So a daffodil is prosperity, hope and forgiveness, so we're going to have that. There's 2 pages of these little, and I've already cut this one out of the other page. There's 2 pages of that. And then there is these birth month florals done in a slightly different style, and I've decided that that's the one I'm going to put in there, like that. So that's what we're going to do with that one. But the first thing I want to do is I want to cut out the other bits of this. So I've cut out the other tag and I've cut the top of it. I'm going to have to shorten all of this, but I don't want to shorten it anymore just now because the journal I'm putting it on needs to bring it down to this kind of height. But I want to wait till I've got the whole thing assembled, and then I'm going to take a bit off the bottom as well, just to get rid of this line. I don't mind the line up that side, but I think we're going to trim off the bottom because we're going to end up trimming off the top, so we'll trim off the bottom as well, just to get that line done. But the first thing I want to do is I want to put this on a bit of paper so that we can have a hinge. Right, I'm going to let this sit for a while so that I know it's nice and stuck on. And let's move on to the next bit that I want to do just now, and that's this bit. I want to make this into a little clip. So the first thing I need to do is, oh, that's stuff I didn't even realise was in there. Okay, that wasn't what I was looking for at all. That's not what I'm looking for either. Have I not got any of that left? There we go, there's a bit here. When I'm making a paperclip, which is what I'm going to do with this, I like to use paper that's been had labels or something sticky on it, so that's shiny. And I don't know, I'm just doing that this way, and I'll show you why. Because then when you do it that way round, and that's your inside label, then you've got a shiny bit for sliding on and off the page. And this is the way people do these things all kinds of ways. This is the way I do it. I fold a bit in half, shiny side in. I then fold it back 2 bits, and they are going to hold the paper clip. Then this will go on here, like so. That one will go neat, and the one at the back will go. I'll see, I've done it wrong, haven't I? I want to just, this one doesn't go back quite as far, so that you've got a one that comes out slightly further than the other one, because it will just make it easier then to see where it goes in and out. So what I just want to do is I want to ink the back of both of these. Let's cut off the excess here that we don't need. Let's ink both the back of these. I just want a little bit of something over this. Just going to put some of these dots across here. I'm using the dots because we've got kind of a snowy effect going on there, so I just think it kind of mirrors that, but it's a different. And I'm using the grey because the grey is nice and not too strong. Yes, like that. Yeah, with little labelies. Need something longer than that. Oh, one of these signatures might do the trick. Let's just cut it down a bit. It's just a bit too big. There we go. 41. So we've now got a little clip. We don't need this any longer. We just need to put this aside, letting it nicely set, because there's lots of glue, including some shiny paper being glued, so letting it sit unused for now is a good thing. Move on. Let's move on, because I'd like to get this finished today. Let's deal with this. This is going in here. It needs a bit of that. Right, let's start by I want to think about what I might want to do with the rest of this. This needs some stamping on it, I think. Where are those grasses? I think they're in here. These were done with and I want to put those on the inside along with that. Not sure if I want those dotty ones, although actually the dotty ones might go quite well. Or do I want to put something on the outside, the bigger ones on the outside, like, oh see, I like those outside ones. Right, so I don't think I want to put that on the inside, I think I want to put that on the outside. Put that down and then kind of put that across like that. Oh yeah, like that. Like that. Right. We have our favourites that we keep on going back to, and this is one of my favourites. It's a chocolate baroque. It's called Eastern Grasses. I don't even know if it's available any longer, but it's just such a nice stamp to use, and I use it in oh so many ways. And you can just layer it as well and just make it rather fun. So let's just do that. I'm just wondering actually if I want to put a, yeah, before we do that though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bit of, let's just put a bit of writing space on the back here. There we go. Right, so we want to put this in here. Let's just take that off. Let's just trim this. Oh, see, because I've trimmed it, it's now not square in the back. But let's not fuss about that. Let's not worry. Let's not worry. It's only for my own journal, so I should have thought about that before I put that on. See, she's saying not worry, but I'm now fussing at it because I don't like the fact that it isn't square on there. But if I start to put this on here, then it's going to be trim. I need a bit of trim down there. We'll do that in a second. Let's ink this. It's also now not square this side either, is it? Never mind. Never mind. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to put a bit of trim round and that'll solve a multitude of sins. I'm just, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sew. Instead, I'm just going to sew down there. Or I could put something on, like Daffodil. I'm going to do that. How are we doing? We're getting there slowly. And then I want a bit of something light. This is what I want. A bit of this. And all that was a bit extra because I made a mess. But now that doesn't look so bad. Right, so that's that bit done. That's that bit done. Let's move on to this bit. Now, what I'm going to do is I've cut out these two. No. And just to give it a bit more 3D, I'm going to emboss them. So let's get that done. We need to clear some space. So that's the first lot of fossilized amber on, and now I need to decide whether I want to put more on, because it is kind of painterly, you see, and do I want to leave it painterly or do I want to totally do it? I actually quite like it painterly. I'm just wondering whether I should come in with some clear though, just to make it so that it's all covered. Maybe I'll do the clear at the end. I just want to put a bit more of the fossilized amber down here. Whenever you're doing heat embossing like this, which is lots of layers and treating your glazes almost like a paint, the one thing you need to do is you need to make sure that you do it, have your heat tool hot and do it quickly, because if you spend too much time heating, you're going to start mixing them all and it will kind of slightly disturb the purpose of what you wanted to do. The next one I'm going to go on to is the wild honey. Let's put the wild honey away and we'll move on to the rusty hinge. I need to decide whether I want to do, actually, do you know what? I don't know if I do. I quite like, which is which, that goes up there that way. I quite like how I could put a layer of clear now, so the bits that aren't currently embossed would be also embossed. But do you know what? I don't think I'm going to. Let's ink this up, and I want to ink it up with the, I don't want the brown. I'm going to use this hickory smoke to ink up. I don't think I do want to put the clear on. I think putting the clear on will lose the painterly quality of it. So I'm just going to leave it as is. So I'm going to put this is going to be on here as a tuck. Now I need to think about whether I want to put anything on this background. What I'm wanting to do is I want to put these on here. I want to raise them up a bit, but they'll go on there. This then will go on here, and then we need to think about trimming it all. Let's start by putting this. I want to settle this along the line. So let's put it along the bottom. Because that edge, I don't want to lose any of this, so I'm just going to give this a little trim. Now I'm going to have to trim some off the top, but I don't want to do that just yet. Where is my, oh, it's ended here. Right, what I want to do to start with is I just want to fold this in half. As you can see already, it's gone and cracked along there. So I need to put something along here as a hinge. Why don't I use this again, because I've already used it there, but this time we're going to do it neat, as in straight cut. We should actually cut it a bit longer than we need it. I need to cut this so it doesn't cut there's the top of the petal, so I need to not cut off the top of the petal. Go. Right, so I'm going to take it across the top of that line there. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to follow. We're only going to do that on the top one. We're going to do on the bottom one as well. We'll leave that as is. This we're going to go with swirly, 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 like that. So that's all done. And I want to round these two corners. Let's stick this down here. should have inked that first, but let's ink that now. This needs pressed, so I'm going to press that. Let's continue with this. This needs stuck on there, and this is stuck on there. I am wondering whether to just stick down that bit and not the outside leaves of this bottom one. I'm trying to work out which way up this goes. That way. Something like that. Oh, so yeah, I do like that. Right, okay. That was a good decision, Kirsten. Let's actually, let's not put that, let's get a big one. I think before I put that on, I'm tempted to put a bit of book page in behind here. I just feel it needs something behind here. This is Tracy Fox's Botanical Minis, and it's got this fabulous little stamp here that I might put in there, and then I might use, I like the funny one of these. Maybe I'll just use the funny one of these behind here. There we go. See how that just gives the idea that there's more vegetation behind. I like that, like that. I might just put a little bit on this side as well. Let's just do that up here and just have the tiniest bit coming in here. Okay. I think I want to stick down this top bit, just because if I don't stick this top bit down when it comes to putting the other one on, I think the other one will end up being vulnerable. So let's just stick down that top bit. So it's an actual pocket rather than a tuck. There we go. I am wondering about putting, these are Tracy labels, putting one of these in just underneath there like that. Or maybe even putting it over the top like that. That's a bit big for doing that. Maybe the pages is from the paper that I did my embossing on. lovely bit of aged paper here. Let's just see. This is the Botanical Lab Identification set, and I just want one of these labels. Firm tight. I'm just going to stick that down there. A wee bitty bent, but never, not much. Okay, we're getting there. We've got this still to cover to back. That's the front, this is the back. And we wanted to put this on here, but I want to do something behind again. Oh, I could use this one this time. That there, and D for daffodil can go there actually. Right, that's the back of it done. Let's just finish this off. Trim this. This needs to go on here, like so. This goes in this pocket. More stuff could go in there if it wanted. This goes in here. Let's put a little bit of, we haven't inked this either, have we? That one goes in there. And this will go on, let's pretend this is the page, this will go on a page like so, and this will then act as a tab and keep it on the page. So this will be on the back side, this will be on, so you turn the page like that, and we've got our tag, we've got our journaling card, we can put more stuff in there if we want. On this side we've got that, we take the tag off, and we've all got all that journaling space, or dirty journaling space in there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this fun little make. I'll leave the link for the kit down below, and as I say, there's a whole load of flowers, so if daffodils aren't your flower, if March isn't a month you want to mark, then you'll find plenty of other flowers and plenty other months You take care. Bye for now. Keep crafting.